This time on Roadkill Garage, we got a 383 4-speed Roadrunner for less than $7,500. Yo-ho! It's our 50th episode, Dulcich. Can you believe it? 50 Roadkill Garages.
Wow.
I thought we would do something simple and fun. Maybe you could just like knock the door ding out of this thing and we can hit the road.
Oh, wow. Might need a little bit more than knocking the door ding out. I hated this car, actually. When you and Finnegan did the episode where you got this thing running and driving,
yeah,
I thought that was admirable, but man, this car pained me so much.
But it was so fun.
Oh, well, I wasn't there, so I'll take your word for it.
Finnegan wants to keep this together just to have it for posterity. And I'm like, no. So what I want to do is take the entire drivetrain, front clip, everything mechanical off this and plop it onto our 68 Satellite shell.
Well, I'm totally on board with that. That's exactly what I would do.
I say we start with disassembly because I don't want to start assembly work yet.
Oh, yeah, we'll tear it all down, get a whole gigantic pile of parts, and then just walk away.
Lose all the fasteners and everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It'll be the usual program.
All right, let's get started.
All right.
What you got here is a 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner, the Motor Trend car of the year for 1968. This one's a 383 with a 4-speed, and it belonged to a friend of a friend who was using it as a daily driver. He was super proud of this car, and apparently lost it in the rain at one point and wrapped it around a telephone pole or a power pole or something like that. So what we did is we bought a 1968 Plymouth Satellite shell for $800, and I think we paid $5 grand for the Roadrunner, which seems like a lot until you realize that it's going to give us an engine, a 4-speed, a clutch, a bell housing, clutch linkage, pedals, steering column, dash, radiator, everything. We're going to be able to put together a Roadrunner clone here for, I'm going to say, less than $7,500. That's what's going to happen on episode 50 of Roadkill Garage. I realized before we take it inside, there's some housekeeping to do. The poop that was on the intake manifold when Finnegan and I first unburied the Roadrunner is still there. And so Dulcich is gonna handle it.
Ugh, why is it my job?
You have the breather.
Ugh.
All right, I expect meticulous retention of every bit of hardware so that it snaps right back together like a model set.
You expect that, but what's the actual outcome going to be?
I was hoping you had a box so we could throw all the bolts in it.
Okay, I'll work on that.
You can handle that?
Yeah.
What we're going to attempt to do here is remove the engine and transmission and complete front suspension all in one unit, which means dropping the upper control arms and the shocks and the torsion bars, and then there's 4 bolts that hold the K-member in the car, have to disconnect the steering column, other miscellaneous junk, and everything, engine and trans and all, should just stay on the ground while we're able to pick up the car and get rid of it. At least that's the theory. This is going to be a lot of work.
Okay, theoretically, David, it should come off right now.
Water's out of it now.
Ah! Glad I wasn't under the car this time.
There we go. Whoa, there we go. Simple as pie.
Yeah.
That was way better than I expected.
Oh no, that was great.
We just got the whole front clip off in one piece, which was really cool because I was worried we'd have to take the grill out and everything. That saved hours. It gave us easier access to the engine and the suspension in order to do the next thing, which is to remove the body up and off the whole suspension K-member and engine trans, everything. We still have stuff to disconnect though, like drive shaft, shifter.
Yeah, but I actually feel pretty good about the progress.
Yeah, no, I mean, the disassembly is going great.
I see light at the end of the tunnel.
Already?
Yeah, we've got this, Freiburger.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
There you go. Ah. Sometimes you have to take a break and pat the dog.
We're just about to drop the K-member with the engine and transmission and everything attached to it. The problem is the torsion bars won't come out. Now, I think the car is so tweaked that it's putting them in a bind, and even though we release the tension from the torsion bars, they won't slide out. So I'm just gonna torch them in half, and that'll be that. We'll get new ones. With the torsion bar cut, removing the rest of this is gonna be really easy.
We think we have everything loose. I'm sure we don't really, but we're gonna go for it instead. Okay.
This is gonna flop around dangerously.
Oh yeah, ready?
I'm going for it right now. Whoa, what happened? It's like the car moved. Yay! Look at that, Freiburger! Gravity.
So the entire engine, transmission, and front suspension is now freed from the car. Our challenge now is to figure out how to get the whole body up and over that behemoth. That might just clear.
And I hope we don't have to take off the carburetor.
It's gonna hit the carb stud. Take the carb stud out and we're good. Whoa, that hurt.
Oh, you forgot to cut this?
Yeah, cut that. The whole car is sitting on the carburetor right now.
Luckily, those Edelbrock carburetors are made to take punishment.
They're job rated.
Okay.
So we need to harvest everything off of this car. I mean, if we want it, this is where it's gonna come from. Wiper motor, wipers, master cylinder, brake lines, interior stuff.
Pedal assembly.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Complete dash structure.
Yeah, so we're gonna be here a while gutting this thing. That's the short version.
The problem here is the passenger door is totally jammed shut. There's no way I'm gonna open it, so I'm gonna saw it in half, and then hopefully one side will fall off and the other side will open right up. So here goes. The vibration there is absolutely punishing. I think I'm almost through it. Look, I feel like quitting, but I am gonna persevere. Whoa! Just like I said, look at that. So now all I have to do is unbolt the door at the hinge, and I can actually save both of the door hinges.
All right, ready to catch the door?
Oh yeah, I've got it firmly grasped.
You got it?
Oh man, it's heavier than I thought. So what I'm doing here is taking the windshield out, and the reason is I want the dash out, and so the bolts are right here at the base of the windshield, and that's gonna allow me access to get the upper door hinges off, the pedal assembly, the brake master, and all the linkages. So I'm gonna cut this gasket, and it should lift right out. Okay, that's the dash assembly out, and I say assembly because the whole thing is assembled. You don't have to take it apart as individual pieces. The factory had it fully built, all the ducting, the wiring, the cabling, and then it bolted in. To take it out, there's a row of bolts right at the base of the windshield. You take all of those out, you pivot it down, disconnect everything, and then pull the whole thing out. Away she goes.
Master cylinder out. Look how we're disconnecting as little as possible so we can just plop all of this junk right into that other car. There we go. Boom. Wow, there you go. There was a time when they did not reproduce all this stuff and factory 4-speed pedals were gold. These being original, pretty good. This thing has just been a genius parts car. Unfortunately, the seat frame is completely bent and trash.
One of the differences between our two cars here is the wreck car was a 4-speed, whereas the body we have outside is an automatic. Now, to accommodate the 4-speed, Chrysler put an additional hump on the transmission tunnel. That accommodated the linkage on the manual transmission, and basically the hump was just tacked on, overlapping the original floor pan. So I'm gonna cut that out roughly, and then I'll take it over to the bench, take off the second layer that's spot welded to the hump, and then we'll cut a hole in the floor in the other car and weld it in.
Okay, I think we're ready.
It needs more.
Yeah, push over.
Wow, it doesn't really want to track.
It doesn't want to go. Okay, here we go. Whoa, it made it. Yeah. Well, that's the end of the C-Body Roadrunner, but honestly, this is the best possible conclusion after this car got wrecked the way it did. I mean, it was junk. And now we're gonna use all of the best bits on our green Satellite. But for now, we're forklifting it out of here and it's done. We're gonna roll the green car inside after we get a rear end under the back of it, and then the reassembly process begins. I've totally been procrastinating this part.
I know.
I don't want to do it.
I know, how come?
I don't know. It's just, you know, you get that mental block on some jobs. You just don't want to come near them, and it makes the whole thing screech to a halt.
I know, but I'm just the opposite. I've had my gloves on since like 8 o'clock this morning.
So what you're saying, as soon as I get this apart, we can go for it.
Yeah.
So what we have to deal with here is a whole rear end swap. This is a Mopar 8 3/4 rear end. It's like the really good muscle car rear end. This one's out of the silver Roadrunner, but it is bent. I mean, literally, look at this thing. It is curved like this. It is junk. We got this one from Hidden Valley Auto Parts, same place where you got the TR6.
At the same time, too.
At the same time, yeah. We have to pull the brake backing plates and axles out of this. The axles are probably junk. I've got brand new Mosier ones. And then pull the 391 Posi. And then I have to go take a break while Steve puts it under the back of the car.
It'll go right in.
Look at that. It's kind of strange there's no gear oil in this at all.
It still seems to be stuck.
Boom.
That's how you do it.
That was dominance. Any indication of damage?
No, it seems like it's pretty good.
So both axles came out straight.
Yeah, but there's no gear oil, and we're depending on that to be good.
I know, we're counting on this center section. Are you ready to catch it?
Yeah.
There's no gear oil in it.
None at all.
Makes no sense.
How is that even possible? Whoa!
We wanted to find out what the gear ratio is in the center section. There's a stamping on the ring gear that says 39-11. What that means is that there's 39 teeth on the ring gear and 11 on the pinion. So I did 39 divided by 11, and that gave me 3.545, which rounded up is the commonly referred to 355s. This is a 3.55 to 1 gear ratio set. That's cool, but I'm wondering why I'm seeing a little damage on this gear tooth right here. We brake cleaned everything up to clean it, and I glopped this with silicone. Now we're just gonna slam the center section in and hope that it's okay.
Initially, we planned to replace the axle shafts, and the aftermarket axles we ordered didn't come with bearings, so those are out. It turns out that the old axle shafts out of the bent rear end are still straight, at least we think so we're gonna reuse it. Now, these axle shafts have actually been serviced with an aftermarket bearing, and these are ball bearings. The stock installation would have used a tapered roller bearing, and a tapered roller bearing needs some provision to adjust out the thrust clearance. These ball bearings, they don't need that, so that does away with an adjuster screw and a lock off. So these simply bolt right in and you're done.
Stop. Okay, my side is safety nutted. So there's 4 studs on the front spring hanger. We just got it through the holes in the frame, got safety nuts on these. Now all I have to do is jack it up and get the rear shackles on. Done. Okay, here we go. Green one's gonna be on tires for the first time since we've known it. Boom. Now, we just have to figure out how to get it inside the shop. We're removing the hood because it's just weight and it's trashed straight to the junk pile. We got the green one inside. I'm gonna start stripping the engine compartment of the factory wiring and all the junk that we're not gonna be reusing. And then I have to weld the clutch pivot ball bracket to the frame over there. And meanwhile, Dulcich is gonna be inside converting the automatic transmission tunnel to accept that add-on hump that we cut out of the other car where the shifter pokes through the floor. That'll mean cutting a big hole in the floor and then tack welding that new hump in there. And we have to do that first because we can't get that 4-speed manual transmission in the car and in position without the shifter being able to go through the hole in the floor. So simultaneous progress, that's gonna be new for today. All right, we're gonna remove all the brake line apparatus from the engine compartment in one fell swoop like this. All right, Dulcich, hand me the new monstrosity. Got it.
All right.
Now install that. There you go. And this goes under here. I'm gonna blow air through this brake line just to make sure that it's not completely clogged. And once I get that connected and this snapped into place, I think we're ready to plug in the engine up from the bottom. Here comes air. Uh-oh.
Nothing? Let me try going from the back to the front.
Ah, got it.
Should we fill this up with brake clean and then blow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah.
That was just a pure hose through of brake clean.
Yeah.
In theory, the car will simply drop directly onto the engine. Oh, gonna hit the carburetor.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
We're raking our AFB.
We are.
But we don't care that much.
No. There we go. And stop. Cleared it.
Wow.
Okay, and boom. Here, start pulling it forward while you're...
While I'm lowering it.
There you go.
Okay. How's your key member bolt?
Hold on, don't move anything. I'm gonna stick my finger through. I can install a K-member bolt. I can get my rear one in too.
You don't say.
It's done. Give me the rear one. Yes, I just got both the K-member bolts in this side. Perfect. Okay, just cinching up this K-member bolt a little bit because in the morning, we're gonna pick this thing up and start making it a car again. It's been a long day, but this is major victory. I'm feeling good, all right? We're out of here.
We're out, but the engine is in. All right, let's sit, boys.
Ready? Here's what just happened. We finished part 1 of our list, and we moved on to the gruesome part 2. We made a priority list over here of things that pretty much have to happen in order to make the car run and drive. And along the way, I made some excuses about how we have cobbled a lot of cars that became great way after the fact, and that's what this is gonna be. All right, what are you volunteering to do? Torsion bars.
Torsion bars, okay. I'll get to work cleaning those up. As a matter of fact, I'll do that while you put the pedals in.
No. I'm gonna leave pedals to the very last bleeding moment. Ready for this, Dulcich?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Pedal assembly, handled.
Good work.
What did you do?
Fuel system, from gas cap to carburetor.
Really?
With all the vents connected.
Wow, 2 whole things done.
But they were biggies.
Okay, right there. All right, and the electrical system begins. Will it crank? Almost like it's coming to life. Great. Oh, that's it. We need to do drive shaft wiring, bleed the brakes.
Bleed the brakes. Cross it off.
You did it?
Damn straight I did, buddy boy.
Get out.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I know, it's insane. I thought
Man.
you'd lose your mind when I told you that one.
All right, battery is technically in, but the hold down is not. Man, we're just knocking them down.
Yeah.
Really, it's just wiring.
Would you believe that the drive shaft that came out of our junk car was a foot too short? That's because the car was scrunched. So we had to make a whole new drive shaft. I've got new hardware to attach it to the rear end, and all I've got to do is tighten the bolts, and that'll complete the entire drivetrain. Freiburger,
Yeah.
are you ready to try to start the engine?
Do you have it perfectly wired?
Oh, I've got a wiring octopus going there with every wire connected to every wire.
I am ready.
But there's one problem, there's no fuel in the carburetor.
But you're holding a can of brake clean.
Oh no, this is flammable hairspray.
Yeah.
Even better.
Ready? There we go. Man, so it runs. Ignition is fixed. You know what else that means? We're essentially done with the mechanical part of the list, and we can move on to Dulcich's coveted cosmetic part of the list. I think we're gonna put the trunk lid on first.
We're gonna make this into a car again.
We're gonna make it into a road runner.
I wonder when's the last time this car has actually been on the road. I think that's all the way down.
Whoa.
This is the H-pipe that came out of the old car, and it was cut off because the exhaust in the back was totally wrecked. Now, we want to run a little bit of muffler. This is a little bit of muffler. It's just a tiny little glass pack, but it'll help quiet the car down some. So I'm going to weld that right on there and bolt it in the car. No, I'm really happy with that. It all lines up really nice. All I've got to do now is tighten up these bolts, and I'll consider this job done. Wow, that looks great.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it gonna sound better?
I don't know. You want to come over and fire it up? I
Yeah.
wanna hear it.
Let me try it out. Wicked. Dulcich,
Yeah.
I officially allow you to move on to sheet metal installation. Man, I'm happy we're able to do this all in one piece.
I know. That was genius.
Okay, done. There we go.
My side's on.
This thing is officially a car again. All we have left to do now is put the front bumper on, wheels and tires, and the hood. We're out of here. We're gonna be road tripping this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Trunk, fenders, hood, bumpers, wiring, wheels and tires, out of here.
So who's going to get the honor of being first to drive the wreck runner? Is it ready?
Yep. Boom, I'm in. Yes. Come on.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Imagine the irony of just like totally hitting something with this and wrapping it around a phone pole.
Yeah, that would suck at this point.
Why does it run so terrible?
I don't know.
That's why I thought that was third gear. Maybe it needs to warm up.
That's boring. Maybe it had some bad gas in the carburetor.
Possible. So the suspension is tracking straight.
That sounded all right.
Sounds better. Ready for brakes?
Yeah. How are they?
Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
This might be our best car.
I think it is.
glad you put the mufflers on it.
Yeah, me too. It's actually pretty nice. It's got a pretty good rumble to it, but you can talk.
Yeah. Oh, the brakes are dragging badly.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're like slowing me down, see?
How do we fix that? We have to take a 1/4 inch off the push rod. Oh, wow.
It's like it's getting worse and I haven't touched the brakes. How's that possible?
That's what happens.
They're locked right now.
Yep.
Yeah, the front brakes are locked.
Yep.
Okay. Well, here's the summary of our road test so far. It ran terrible when we first pulled away from the house. I mean,
yeah,
junk, but it improved.
It just needs a good basic tune-up.
I think so. I mean, maybe it was just because it was cold or
sitting around for a year.
Who knows, but it ran terrible and it's still not awesome. The shifter is broken, and so you cannot power shift the thing. The plate that bolts the transmission is cracked, so that's a little bit sketchy. And probably the worst news is that the posi is shot and it's a one-legger. It only does one-wheel burnouts. But the real clincher is that it has the exact same problem with the brakes that we had when we had the silver car running and driving with me and Finnegan, which is that it just keeps building up front brake pressure and it never stops. Tractors run and drive better than this thing. So the front wheels are locked up right now, and so you're gonna just release the pressure on it to fix it. Did you release the pressure?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we should be able to drive off now. Man, look at that. That says all that you need to know about the last 4 days of our life.
Worth every minute of it, though. Look at this Roadrunner or Satellite, whatever you want to call it, man. I love this car.
I know. I'm pretty stoked on it, too. I think when people watch episodes like this, on one hand, they're looking at a clapped-out car with a big dent and no interior and stuff, but we took garbage and made it into a running and driving car that we just fell in love with, even though it needs a new rear axle shaft and an alignment and this and that and the other and brakes and whatever else, but now it's a package that we can work with.
No, it's just a matter of dialing in perfection at this point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. And that's the way we do it on Roadkill Garage. Ready for a beer?
Let's go. I can't hear myself very well because I have these earmuffs on. So if my levels seem wrong, stop me and we'll do a second take. Does it sound okay, Brad? Like this?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
All right, I'm ready to go. Are you rolling?
Speeding, action.
Hey, Steve, was the transmount a Cuban stud?
Yeah, Cuban stud. Not to be mistaken by a Cuban stud.
And if this doesn't work out, we can become Uber drivers.
Oh, this is a massaging car seat cover.
Yeah, exactly. I guess this is more of a cab program than the Uber.
I don't want it.
Don't let me to share. I used to be the shadow for my life was hanging over me. A broken man that I don't know won't even stand the evil chance to win my soul. What we doing? Why we chasing? What the bottom? What the basement? Why we got good shit, don't embrace it? Why the fear for the need to replace me? You the wrong way, track from the good. I wanna paint a picture, tell you we could be out like a